But you know what? Most people are reasonable. And if you offer them a windfall of some sort to make up for a negative incident, they can get past it. It happens all the time in law. So it can happen in any area. The next one is to make contact with the aggrieved party as soon as possible. Call them. Arrange personal contact. Please don't use email, because nobody can understand the tone, and emails can come across awfully harsh, even if the person doesn't intend it to be harsh. Texts, things like that, no. Even if you have to leave a detailed message, look, I heard you had an incident with our firm. I take it very seriously. I'm the president. I'd love to talk to you about this. If you're in the same city, can we get together for dinner? My treat. If we're in different cities, can we talk on Skype? This is the most critical moment, and if you've gotten to stage 7, you're in trouble anyway. Because the next moment is the contact with a lawyer. So if you can contact the person and let them understand you and you understand them, you can make all the difference in the world. As I like to say to my clients, better to lose one night's sleep because your client could be abroad than to lose many nights' sleep over what's happening with this. Remember what I stated earlier, you can't unring a bell. But, if you handle it very well, it'll be interesting that they're going to tell their friends how well you handled it, as opposed to the exact opposite. Just think about it for a second. Number 8, work it out before it becomes a lawsuit. I've been involved in litigation for about 29 years. I enjoy litigation. I enjoy it as a sport, as a game, as a strategy play. It's a lot of fun. But I wish this world wasn't a litigating world. I prefer negotiation. It's resolved in a week, done. Because after a week you can't stay in the person's mind frame. But when it gets to litigation, it gets dirty, it gets nasty. People take positions mentally. Also, the lawyers they have, some lawyers just love to fight. I don't know why, because litigation shouldn't be about fighting. It should be about resolving, because the faster you resolve it, the more you save your client money, the happier they are. They refer their friends, etc. It works for everybody. Sometimes it becomes a fight. And, some lawyers, very few, thank God, under 5%, they'll make your client take certain positions just so that the client can spend more money and make this into a big war where it could have been resolved up front with a simple dinner or conversation. And no, you don't have to always have the lawyers present. But it is what it is. Law is its own little animal. But once it becomes a lawsuit, you realize you can't communicate with the person directly. You have to go through their lawyer. Everything's filtered. Everything's, hopefully strategized. Positions are taken. It's a horrible cancer. I don't wish a lawsuit on anybody. However, sometimes people won't negotiate. And sometimes they want to have the option of what's called discovery, to depose the other person, to understand what really happened, to know the truth, to know it from a certain number of parties so that they can verify what is real and what isn't. So sometimes there is no option. But when it becomes a lawsuit, and look at the United case. The lawyer for United was on primetime television, talking. Nobody was monitoring him. He could say whatever he wanted. When it gets to that stage, your goose is cooked. So whatever you do, try to avoid getting to the litigation stage. There are many more things you can do. And more importantly, I'm all about America having a better customer service level. Not just America, the whole world. Because at the end of the day, customer service, the company's reputation, that's all it's got. And people will shop where they're taken care of. Look at Nordstrom's. Always, since I've moved to America, it's always been respected as a great store, great customer service. Ritz-Carlton hotels, same kind of thing. Great service, consistently great service. You can't complain. There are a few names that have made themselves like that. And you know what? Here's an interesting thing. Most people today will pay more for better service. And not only that, as in my case with Air Canada, I'll pay more money to fly a different airline even though they have what I need. If I'm flying to Canada, I'll fly at different times. I'll go out of my way. Why? If I want to be treated badly, I'll let you know. But if I want better service, I'll pick a different airline. And as I stated earlier on, I've never had a problem with United personally, and I think it's a great airline. They've treated me well, but you look at the situation that just happened, you have to ask yourself, what happened? How did he get to that stage? And one thing, I could talk to you for 8 hours, but I know it's hard to keep people's attention for that long. But please, folks, as much as you may love your employees, your team, I love mine, before you've analyzed everything, before you've spoken to the aggrieved customer, don't tell anybody that you stand behind your people, especially as in this case, they've gone above and beyond. They didn't go above and beyond, they went down and below. It's not going above and beyond a level of service. Any staff member from United could have stated to the police officer, "Sir, this is a paying passenger. Please don't do that. Treat him with the dignity and respect a human being deserves, because I wouldn't have you treat my dog that way in a heartbeat." One United Airlines employee could have done that, but nobody did. They just stood by and watched. And then the CEO says, well, they went above and beyond. Are you serious? This is your idea of above and beyond? I'm sorry. I can't justify that. Even though I've had no problems with United, I can't justify that being above and beyond. I think it's plain stupidity, what they did. And it's apathetic, and I think there was no concern for human dignity. There was no concern for United Airlines as a company. Because the company isn't bad, it's the people. And I'm not saying all the people, I'm just saying it's the people who make the mistakes, not the company. The company's trying its best to survive. So, don't stand behind your staff all the time, because although they're wonderful, and you have to support them, which we do, but there are going to be times that they're going to make mistakes or make wrong choices and wrong decisions, and you have to support them in the sense to say, look, if this is the case, do this. But you can't just blanketly state, whatever they did is fine because they're my staff. I make mistakes, they make mistakes, we all make mistakes. The question is, how do we recover from them? We're all human. I hope your next crisis is averted because of this. I hope that next time when you have a crisis, you look at it as a challenge of your intellectual and experiential prowess, of your ability to resolve conflict. And I want you to, and you will have the next crisis, just unfortunately the way of the world, I want you to have an experience that you'll be proud of. An experience where you can turn around and state to your staff, I had this crazy person who, wanted things that didn't make sense and they shouldn't have this and that, and you resolved it. And the person's happy, and they'll continue doing business with you and referring business to you. They won't write you up on Yelp. They won't do this, they won't do that. They have no reason to. You gave them no reason. Make it that kind of a fun experience. Learn from it, be better because of it, and write an article and teach us all. And I hope you do make some comments on this video. You can on YouTube. And I will respond to them. Let's keep the conversation open, because you can never learn enough about crisis management. As a negotiator, I've learned you can never learn enough about people. Just when I think I've seen it all, somebody comes up with something I haven't seen. And you'd think 29 years would be enough. Obviously not. We have people from different cultures, different countries, different ways they were raised by their parents. Everybody, you add all these combinations and you've got quite a milieu of thinking patterns, and it's a scary thought sometimes. It's something that you have to consider and constantly train yourself on. But I wish you all the best.